It's never too early to talk about new and upcoming games, guys, even games that haven't been announced yet. As you guys know from my channel, we talk about these types of things all the time on the YouTube channel, where we are talking about the future of gaming franchises that we love and games that we want to see continuations within the gaming industry. And that is just something that we love to talk about, trying to stir up conversation, get everyone who is, fans like myself of some of these franchises to continue breathing life into these franchises and having those continue. Because as many developers have said, it really comes down to the fan base as to what you want to see out of that franchise. That being like, if you want to see continuations of certain franchises, we as a community have to voice our opinion, voice that we want those things to happen. So I'm constantly talking on this YouTube channel about the future of games, the future of video games, to try to continue moving the gaming community and gaming industry forward in a direction where we continue seeing our favorite games, and we talk about those things. So in this segment, guys, I want to talk about Mortal Kombat 12, something that I think is definitely an assured thing, but it's pretty much everything that we know so far about the game. I want to talk about that because Mortal Kombat 11, guys, obviously is the most popular and pretty much the best selling of any of the Mortal Kombat games to date. And I think that we can all rest assured that we're probably going to get a Mortal Kombat 12 at some point or another. But maybe we can talk about some of the things that we'd like to see in the future. So let's talk about it. Mortal Kombat 11 is one of the successful Mortal Kombat games in the whole franchise. This means that we now have more expectations for Mortal Kombat 12. So guys, this was written by Nitish Singh of Gamers Suffice, the Mortal Kombat 12 release date. So we're about 6 months or about, close to a year since Mortal Kombat 11 released. It received critical acclaim, not only from critics, but also from the users. At the time of writing, it has more than 90% positive reviews. This also means that the developers do not need to hurry the next interactions as they are working hard to provide new content to the game, including maps, characters, and more. According to the Mortal Kombat Fanon site, the next iteration, Mortal Kombat 12, will be released in 2023. It will be released on all the major platforms, including the upcoming consoles, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So I think that's kind of an obvious thing, that it'll certainly be on the next generation consoles. 2023 seems... that seems legit to me, at least. When I think of, right now, obviously we're in 2020. You've got, let's just say a couple more years of Mortal Kombat 11, as well as maybe, one of the other franchises that, obviously, the developers want to work on. It's hard to say, what other games are there that they would maybe want to work on before working on Mortal Kombat 12. Hey, maybe they'll want to just move right into it. There's been talk of Injustice and the continuation of that franchise. But I think Mortal Kombat, this is assured, fighting game that they know is going to do really, really well. And if they put more time and resource into the continuation of the franchise, it could be something really special. So what can we expect from the Mortal Kombat 12? Mortal Kombat is a fighting game that is a different take. It offers excellent combos and brutality finish moves. This unique element is what makes Mortal Kombat so amazing. It is also a perfect fit for nostalgia, as it is an old franchise that keeps old players happy. Mortal Kombat 12 will keep evolving from what it has left. The story will possibly continue in Mortal Kombat 10, Liu Kang and Kitana defeated Raiden. This also meant that Raiden is not free from evil. The story evolved in Mortal Kombat 11. As we do not want to spoil the story, we will not speak here any of the elements here. But at the core, the story is not the main attraction. Which is true. It's mainly the combat is more the attraction. Story was good, obviously, for a fighting game. You can only expect so much, right? And it's basically you just fighting other characters throughout the course of the campaign. But what it does is, as should any campaign, is it kind of introduces you to the game, the lore, a little bit of the story. But what it mainly does is it actually helps you get used to some of the controls, if there's new controls. And that's why with any game, any new game that ships that I play, I always play the campaign if there is a campaign. I play that first and then I play multiplayer, because throughout the course of the campaign, you'll start getting used to how the game works and stuff. If you just jump into the multiplayer, obviously you're kind of throwing yourself onto the coals. You got to like basically just jump right on in and start trying to figure things out. Instead, you can kind of get an idea of what the experience is going to be like by playing the campaign, and then you move into the multiplayer. That's what I did, of course, with Mortal Kombat 11 as well. And so the story, sure, isn't like it's not like the greatest, campaign of all time or something. However, it gets you introduced to the combat and even to a lot of the characters, which is great. Now, new characters. There will be a plethora of new characters that you will see in the upcoming game. The characters include new ones: Kovu, the Watcher, Ivory, Leon Black, Seth Branson, and Azuma. Many characters from the old games like Mortal Kombat 3D era, Mortal Kombat X, and Mortal Kombat 11 will also return to the game. The popular characters will, of course, be part of the game, including Sub-Zero, Reptile, Scorpion, Raiden, Kung Lao, and others. So, as far as the characters go, I love what Mortal Kombat 11 is doing. Basically, they're like taking some of the characters from Injustice, and what they're doing is putting them into Mortal Kombat, incorporating them in Mortal Kombat. So for those people who are into the Injustice franchise, you can play Mortal Kombat 11, you can kind of play some of your favorite characters. Like, you got like the Joker, you got a lot of those DC Comics characters that are coming into Mortal Kombat, and that's absolutely awesome. I would say that they're going to do more of that with Mortal Kombat 12. At least that would be my assumption. So, graphics and other improvements. As the game is still 4 years away, it still has a lot of time to come out. This means that we can see a graphics change when it comes out. The engine can take advantage of the new console hardware and provide unbeatable 4K 60 frames per second gameplay for smooth fighting sequences. We can also see some changes in mechanics, improvements in the upcoming game. The devs are always proactive in ensuring some freshness while keeping the core gameplay intact. My only concern, guys, I think graphically it's going to get better, as it should, with every single game. But the thing is, guys, is that I feel like they've set such a bar for Mortal Kombat now. Mortal Kombat 11 is so good on many levels that how are you going to get back to that point, right? Like with Mortal Kombat 12, you do some of the same, but you want to do things that are different enough that it doesn't seem like you're just doing a copy and paste of Mortal Kombat 11. And that's going to be something that's going to be very challenging for them, but I think that they're going to be obviously up for the challenge, and it's going to be something that might be really special as we move forward. Now, for me, as far as I'm concerned with the Mortal Kombat franchise, what some of the things that I would like to see personally, I would like to see some new characters. As I said, more characters from the DC Comics, and even some new characters that we have no idea, just completely new characters that they make up. I think would be really great. As far as the story's concerned, it doesn't have to be some, extremely detailed, campaign. I love having a campaign where I can get introduced to the story and the characters. But with Mortal Kombat, I'm there for the combat, obviously. I'm there for the multiplayer experience after the campaign. So just something that can kind of, for new people, introduce you to the franchise. And for people who have been here, just something that you're building a little bit on the lore and all of that would be really cool. And here's the other thing, guys. I think a Mortal Kombat free-to-play game would be awesome. I think it could be huge. I look at games like Street Fighter. I look at games like Smash. All these games you have to pay for, right? Mortal Kombat could change the game by making it free to play. Here's the other thing, though, and I think about this with from the standpoint of esports is concerned. I think there should be an option where you can turn the gore off. Here's why. Not that I don't like the gore. I love the gore. But I think that the one thing with esports is, and we saw this EVO 2020, they stated that Mortal Kombat 11 was not going to make a presence there, and probably the main reason was because of the gore in the game. There's a lot of gore in Mortal Kombat 11, and it's been like that in pretty much all the Mortal Kombat games. What I think they should do, though, for the esports side is don't have an option where you can turn the gore off and maybe just not quite as gory. I think that would be really good for the esports side, because look, when we look at it in the totality of a game, esports helps games in a tremendous way with building fan bases and growing within engagement and all of that. Mortal Kombat could really use that within the esports realm as well, to continue growing as an esport. And I think if you just tone down the gore, I've said this about other games like Gears of War and, even like CSGO, like, having certain games that are just, super gory, or just, even a little gore and stuff, or even some of the terms that they use for the different teams of team names and things of that nature. I think Mortal Kombat could really do well as an esport, continue growing and thriving, if you just kind of turned the gore down somewhat for at least the big events where you have a lot of people watching. That's just my personal take on it. I would love to hear from you guys, though. What would you guys think about Mortal Kombat and them moving in that direction in the future? But what do you guys want to see from Mortal Kombat 12? All in all, guys, everything that we know so far, we pretty much don't know a lot about the game so far. Obviously, we haven't had a reveal trailer. We haven't had any like, even remotely anything come out to tell us that it's even being made, except for the fact that we pretty much are anticipating it simply because of how well Mortal Kombat 11 did. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see in Mortal Kombat 12? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Mortal Kombat 12 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.